This is worksheet 9.4, part 2. We're trying to find the solutions to quadratic equations. And we can do that by graphing. Now they're going to give you the graph. You don't actually have to graph the parabola or enter it into Desmos to graph it for you. It's given to you. Remember the solutions of an equation. So we have our quadratic that typically looks like this. Well, that equals our y value, and this y can be substituted with a 0. In fact, and once we have a 0 written down, we can take the 0 out and put a y there. So the question is, what value of x makes y become 0? Well, that's where it crosses the x-axis. So I'm going to do I'm going to start at number 5 rather, and I'm going to do a bunch of these. So again, our key is what value of x makes this equal 0? So what is the x-intercept? That is the solution. So there's a solution right there at 0, 0, and there's a solution right there at 8, 0. So yes, this equation has two solutions. If I plug in 0, it equals 0. If I plug in 0 for x, I get 0. If I plug in 8 for x, I get 0. Number 6. Again, the x-intercepts are the solution, not the y-intercepts. There's the x-intercept. That's at negative 3, comma 0. So when I plug in negative 3 for b, that equals 0 for the y. So there is one solution to this equation because there's only one x-intercept. Two x-intercepts right here, so that's 0. So that must be negative 2, comma 0. And then that'd be 6, comma 0. You can also write your two solutions with fancy pants brackets to let me know that it's not a coordinate pair. So you can also write it that way if you want. Here we have negative 2, 0 and positive 2, 0. Right there and there, there's our two solutions. Again, the y-intercept or the vertex is not a solution to the equation. You can fancy pants brackets instead if you want to write it that way. But you only need to write it one of the two ways. Either the coordinate pairs like this or fancy pants brackets like that. Number 9 has two solutions at 3, 0 and 5, 0. Number 10, that's a y-intercept. That's not a solution again. Man, it never gets up to the x-axis. So there are no x-intercepts. There are no solutions. Number 9, here's a solution at, did we just do this one? There we go. Number 11, negative 7, 0 as one solution, and 3, 0 is the other solution. So there's two solutions. Number 12, and some people as they were doing these were like, oh, if the parabola is going down, if it's downward facing, if it's a frowny face, does that mean it doesn't have any solutions? Because it's like sad if you don't have any solutions. No, here's a downward facing parabola, and it has two solutions, two x-intercepts. So this equation equals 0 at negative 3. And it also equals 0 when you plug in 4 for x. You'll get 0 out for y, so there are two solutions. You could even have a downward facing parabola that only has one solution. What would that look like? Well, it would be downward facing, and the vertex would be right on the x-axis. That was fun, huh? Please do numbers 1 through 4. Let me know if you need any help.